I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suave, bésame, bésame, suave, bésame otra vez. Suave, yo quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suave, besa, besa, bésame un poquito. Suave, besa, 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 bésame otro ratito. Pequeña, échate pa' acá.
So how you doing, scary man?
How are you doing, scary man? I'm feeling very deflective today, you know? I don't
You
want
are?
to answer any questions. I'm
Why?
deflecting my questions back at you, David. I told you how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like my mic was in the wrong
The
spot.
physical therapist we're talking.
Yeah, I went to the physical
She was
therapist.
touching you in places that no one has ever touched you before.
Yeah, she was touching me in places I've never been touched before, and you know, that was quite the experience. She was just putting her fingers in all kinds of places, and she was like, "Where do you hurt?" And I'm like, "I hurt where." What? She was like bending my foot around, and she's like, "Where does it hurt?" And I'm like, "My foot." My foot.
But you're
hurts.
saying that you found out you're a big pussy, but why? Like, what made you?
Just because it's just like I just feel like such a big pussy. Like she's just like touching me like this small woman, and I'm just like
So when you hurt, you hurt.
bang my elbow against the fish tank. I hope the fish
That
they
scared
are
them.
disturbed. It did just scare them. They're whatever. They're plebeians. They're not really though. You know, they have battles. I kind of know which fish are which. And like I have them marked, and it's like based on attitude and stuff like that.
See, I sent you that TikTok today of the crocodile. Some dude put a baby crocodile just in a tank
can
filled
show
with
it.
piranhas. Huh? Yeah, we can show it.
Si por mí te lo pongo, de septiembre hasta agosto. A mis rincones, lo que digan tu amiga, ya yo me enteré. Se nota cuando.
Yeah, that's I mean, if you want to talk about this some
Yeah,
more?
I do want to talk about it just a little. Because, I mean, yeah, it's obviously entertaining. And maybe the crocodile didn't get hurt, but, like, there's other videos on that guy's TikTok where he's just putting in, like, animals to be eaten. And I understand, like, a lot of people comment, oh, it's just nature, it's just nature. But you can easily feed those animals something else other than, you know, live, like, very not intelligent, but like very feeling creatures. Like the crocodile is not meant to be fed to the piranhas. Just feed them some goldfish, you know?
I think the piranhas would lose in the end, to be perfectly honest.
It was a baby crocodile versus like
I
10
saw
of
it.
them.
I listen.
I think they would. I think the
I
piranhas
don't think they
would
could get
obviously
through that
win.
skin.
They can.
I don't think so.
They can.
I'm taking the croc. I wanted to see how that unfolded. So, what do you think about like? So, like, do you think like frogs are bad? Do you think like mice
Like
are
feeding
bad? 'Cause I've seen
feeding
those.
something frogs.
Yeah, feeding like piranhas frogs. I've seen frogs. I've seen cichlids, and I've seen mice. I think I've seen turtles.
See,
no, that's a stretch.
mice and cichlids are different. You know, like
They are.
because
why
they're
do you-
already
why
being
are you-
they're already being farm like bred, you know, like don't you think you're gonna feel less bad about eating the McDonald's chicken nugget that was just a bunch of baby chicks just crammed into a meat processor rather than eating a chicken that is like free range and that you've raised yourself, you know? It's almost a pet at that point.
Yes, but it's better for me to eat the free range.
That's
the free
true,
range
but
chicken.
that's what I'm saying. Like
So it's better for my animals to eat something that might be a little more nicer than to eat something.
But is it really more nutritious for the piranhas to eat a crocodile rather than some live breeder mice or fish?
You know, again, we talked about it. If you're getting the fish from like any breeder, if they're meant to be breeder fish, they're automatically going to be terrible. I don't think that I've ever heard of. I mean, I know people have done their own breeder type things, and I think that's the only way you can effectively get breeders. I'm pretty sure you mentioned the Good Fish Store. I don't think
Yeah.
the Good Fish Store has breeders, and
I think they do.
I'm fairly certain, David. All right, Alec goes there a lot. I'm fairly certain that they don't have breeders.
Well, another thing is you're saying like that's a lot of work. Like if someone were to have their own breeding tank for that purpose, but
Yeah.
the people feeding live piranha, like crazy shit to live, like a big tank of live
They're already
piranhas,
doing a lot
like
of
they're
work.
doing a lot of work anyway. You might as well have a
Yeah,
breeder
well,
tank.
if you a great argument is if you had the crocodile in a crocodile tank, you could have done something like that. See, yeah, I guess you're right. If you're going to do something crazy, you already have something crazy set up for it. So you could do, like I mentioned to you, I'd love to do a guppy spawning tank and feed those to the cichlids.
Exactly, you know? And I think that's much better and
more humane.
More humane and moral than feeding, you know, like a random, like if you were to go to Petco and buy a beta fish and feed it to the cichlids and just watch them attack it, you know, they wouldn't maybe eat it, but they would attack it.
I'd be lying to you if I say that I haven't had fish pinned against each other in the past. I've had fish kill each other.
I hate that. I feel so bad.
Most of the time, I'm going to be perfectly honest, it wasn't on purpose. The only time it might have been on purpose was because I had a lot of babies I've had a lot of baby deaths. There's been a lot of guppies that were eaten. There's been a lot of cichlid babies that have been eaten.
That's different though, you know? It's them eating their own young. You know, it's not you feeding, like taking an animal unwillingly.
Well,
and
sometimes it's other
them.
fish eating their young too, but
I mean, that's
I guess
that's
right.
actually natural, guys. You know, that's nature shit. That's different than someone taking like something and putting it in the tank.
Yeah, no, I mean like a ultimate warrior battle death is definitely not like humane in any way. Like a crocodiles versus the piranhas, no, that I can't argue that, but like I can argue that like maybe like, you know, the mice or the frog or like, you know, giving a good healthy snack. Like there's something, and I don't know what animal they do this with, but they give, and they've said like obviously live prey is so much better for the fish or any of those exotic animals as it is for humans to have like a live, you know, running around chicken rather than the processed McDonald's chicken, healthier. I don't know where I was going. I started thinking about McDonald's.
What I'm trying to say is we should have less McDonald's and try to keep it like as efficient, but also as healthy as possible.
Yeah, but like, what you're saying
moral.
is like we're having like, that'd be like if I was to eat a human, the crocodiles versus the piranhas.
Yes, it
or
is.
like if I was to eat like a chimp, which we don't do because like crocodiles and like piranhas are like two apex predators. Like we don't eat chimp.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
We don't eat chimp or something. Like we're not exactly that.
There's
wouldn't
also
exactly
a moral
be species
thing
to species
around it, you know?
Yeah, but like, so what do you think about like giant spiders versus like scorpions and stuff like that? Like giant spiders, like have you ever seen like
those battles
puts,
on YouTube where they put
like
them
the
together?
Spiders in the cup?
I mean,
insects.
I don't
it doesn't
think,
matter.
I don't think it doesn't matter. I don't think it's as bad, but I do think, you know, they're both very. You're saying with the crocodile, I think a little less that their skin would be able to protect them against the piranhas, but I think the spider and the scorpion surely can if the person is careful. They won't really harm each other. They will just like throw little punches, you know, and then they're out of the ring.
That's usually what happens though. Now I'm thinking
they do it to the death.
They usually do them to the death.
I think that's kind of fucked up.
Fighting, it's usually to the death.
I think that's kind of unless like if you're buying them, you know, that's pretty fucked up. But if you're just like, say you live
like, say you found like two spiders.
If you live in like Australia and you find a tarantula in your house, so what? You know? But if you're going out of your way to buy the creature to put it in harm, like, why are you doing that?
You know, that's pretty psychopathic.
Because I feel like a lot of those people do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I guess there's a lot of places that you could draw the line, and there's a lot of comments about like, and I think specifically in the spider video, the guy's like, yeah, I found these, they were like wandering around my yard. So yeah.
But there's a lot of bigger channels that do that consistently, you know? So it's like they have to be buying them. And
Yeah,
especially
no,
if you're
well,
getting the views. But
if
yeah,
your
we
channel
can move on
views
to a
is
different.
off having like exotic animals fight to the death, then yeah, you're fucked
Yeah,
up.
you're all right. You want to
And
move on to a different topic? You have
yeah,
one.
I want to talk about the coronavirus vaccine.
It's scary, bro. I don't want it.
You don't
give
want
that
it? I
shit
don't
to
really
me.
want it either, but like I'm happy that people are getting it. Like, do you think things will finally start to be like opening
Nah,
again?
nah. I don't think we're ever going back to normal. I think very, very scary things are coming.
Yeah, but I think very scary things are going to happen as a result of the coronavirus vaccine. I think people are going to start getting the vaccine and then they're just going to like disappear, like
So why are you
spontaneously
happy that they're getting
combust.
it?
Because, well, I think that, well, because if they all get it, then we could hopefully have things open again, is my thinking. That hopefully, now I don't think we're going to go down that path, but like it's more likely. This is so crazy to say, but it's more likely that we go back to normal than the world devolves into a total chaos hell. Would you agree with that?
I
Do you
mean,
think
the thing is, like, it's like Occam's razor. Like, the simplest answer is always the most correct. Like, sure, yeah, like, if I just live in a perfect world, everything will go back to normal. But the reality of the situation is that really true? Probably not.
yeah, well, back to normal isn't like a terribly great normal anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, do you think like I think what I'm trying to say more simply, in this finite region, do you think the coronavirus is more likely to be like a total mutant killer and explode everybody? I mean, granted, I guarantee you there will be unforeseen side effects that people will pay consequences for down the line, but I don't think that it'll spontaneously like kill people. I think it's more likely that we do go back to some type of normalcy in a couple months, which I am excited for. Again, you're right. That normal isn't a particularly great normal anyway, but if it means that I could go outside again, I'm all for it. Like, I want to see
I mean,
people again. Like,
I
I'm for
agree.
that.
The thing is, you still can see people. It's just that
I'm
everyone
not
is
supposed
scared.
to.
You're not supposed to. It's because the
Every
government
time,
has
like,
put the fear into everyone.
I know, but like, yeah, it's like a significant fear. Like, people are dying. Like, people I know are in hospitals and stuff like
Like,
that.
there's governors of certain states that told people, like, yeah, you know, Thanksgiving's canceled. Like, don't go see your family. Nah. And then right after their speech, they go book a flight to go see their family. You know, it's like you just told everyone stay put and not go see their family, but you go do that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, like, I don't like, yeah, a lot of people probably get cancer, like some crazy disease as a result of this vaccine. But like, if we could eliminate the coronavirus problem, that'd be great.
They don't
That'd
want
be
to, though. They
that'd be
want the
real
coronavirus
nice.
problem. They want it
That'd
to
be
always be a problem. That's their main agenda.
Mortal Kombat's
Mortal
going on.
Kombat going. We'll throw up like a clip of like fucking Shao Kahn destroying someone real quick.
Finish him! Fatality. Shao Kahn wins.
I wish I could throw up a clip of me destroying someone real quick.
You could just scroll up on your Xbox live captures.
Oh, you know what? I could Twitch the Xbox, couldn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking on my Switch because I mostly play Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
on my
Kombat on your
Switch.
Switch, yeah, true. Forgot
Which
about
is,
that.
but like it's like the same move set. I don't know. I just like I like the screen like close to my face because like I'm retarded. I mean, I'm whatever. I'll bleep that.
David Ick. I believe it's David Icke, but it could be
David
Ick. Have your
David
fish ever had Ick?
I've had multiple ick fish.
I shouldn't even ask you that because any avid, fish
season.
person
Yeah.
would have experienced Ick.
I've had multiple die-offs. I think one time I was able to stop the ick, and one time I was not able to stop the ick, and it killed all but like 2 fish. It's really interesting, like the different die-offs that I've had. I've had a bunch of different die-offs in my tank, but this tank has been consistently good for a while. I mean, the big problem is right now I can't walk, although I've been trying to maintain it like pretty good, but I've had a lot of ick. I just talk. I could just talk. Like I could just keep talking and say like total garbage, but like it's not. Yeah, go.
It's not total gore. I don't know. I got a few topics down. We were talking about
Well, we
this
want
the
to
other
talk
day.
about David Icke.
What
though.
would you put your body in a robot?
Oh yeah, yeah. I would definitely put my body in a robot. We talked about this a lot, but like you showed me the egg video, and if that's what happens after I die, I'm definitely putting my body in a robot. I'll tell you that right now.
I didn't rewatch the egg video. I watched it a while ago, but I think why? Because you don't want to go back to the shared energy that is everything.
He's the egg video. The guy was like, "We will live every single person's life." Like he's like, "Your life is every life," which I understand. I'm connected to everyone. That I believe. But he said that I'm gonna live my life and then I'll be reincarnated as all of the lives, and eventually I'll live every single one of the lives that ever
But
has been
the
lived.
thing is, like, I'm living as you and you're living as me right now. It's like time.
Yeah, but that's not how he explained it. I agree with that.
Yeah,
that,
I know,
yeah,
but
we
time
are connected.
It's not like it's gonna be like, oh, now I have to live as myself. Now I have to live someone. And it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like they're all happening at once.
That's not how he explained it. Because he
You don't
explained
think
it.
so?
Nah, he was like, you die, and then I agree that I'm experiencing, not really like, I agree that I'm connected with you, what you're saying. I agree with that. But that's not what he explained. He was like, when you die, because he was like, okay, so what happens now? Like, do I go to heaven or do I go to hell? And he's like, no, you're reincarnated as a Chinese woman in like the 16th century.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but how could I go back in time? Like, and then he's like, you're going to live all of these lives. And I don't know. I just felt like some of it was like cool, but most of it, I was like, this is terrible. Like, so he explained it, and I don't know how my man knows this.
But the thing is, like, you wouldn't even be consciously aware that you're living another life, you know, because obviously this isn't the first of this cycle, you know, our one lives. Like, that would mean we'd have many previous past lives, and we have no recollection of that. Some people do, but you know what I'm trying to get at.
Reincarnated, exactly. If we've been reincarnated, this wouldn't be our first life.
Yeah.
This universe has been around for a long time. Even if it was just people, there's no way this would be our first person. So yeah, some people do say they remember things from past lives, but like I can't honestly say I remember something that happened. Now, sometimes things seem funny, and like a lot of the thing that I do kind of relate with is sometimes a person feels like you might have known them from a past life almost. And there was something that he did say during that was like, you can sometimes like he's like, oh, but how will we know if we see someone that's us? And it was like kind of funny, and I thought that too, but like, you know, maybe I have. And he's like, oh, you will know, or maybe not. And like I was like, oh, maybe that was that guy that had that weird communication with me that one time.
Yeah, I mean, going back on like the timeline thing, it's kind of a little off topic, but kind of on topic. I like to think of time as like, it's not like a linear like line, you know, like I feel like it all happens at once, you know, the present, the past, and the future, like it's all there, already happened, you know, like
the deadlines of today make that impossible to like live by.
What do you mean?
Like I agree that the past and the future are connected with our present, and that you're kind of feeling all of those different things at the same time.
No, I'm saying like the future has already happened. You know, like all this shit, like it's all already has existed. You know that what?
My tiny brain can't think of that.
That's why like we were talking about on one of the podcasts, deja vu. That's why I think deja vu happens, is because like you
happened.
Can only experience the present, but in reality, like you have experienced your whole life already, and like that's why, because like maybe, you know, I'm trying to, I can't really formulate a thought anymore. But did I have you in my grasp for a bit?
You had me in your grasp for a bit, but then I escaped. I don't know. I get really lost sometimes. I have such a hard time thinking these days, you know? It really is so hard. I don't know, but the deja vu is what you're saying. It's really hard for me to process. I wonder what anybody watching that would think of just happened. You lost your train of thought, and I was like,
They just click off the video right now.
they're like, oh man, these idiots. He was clearly. It's like you can have bits and pieces, and then sometimes it's like just so hard to like focus on things. I don't know. I found myself being really, really bad at that. But like you were saying, like you think the future is already like happened, and that's why we kind of have like deja vu, is what you were saying.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, deja vu thing is really weird. I mean, yeah, has it already happened? And like, do I think things happen for a reason too, which backs up your theory of everything's already happened? It's probably why things happen for a reason. Although that's a little bit of a different thought, but like it's probably been already simulated.
I know exactly
The
what.
game's probably already been simulated.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but like with the egg, you know, like that's what he was saying. And he's like, basically, you'll live everybody's life, and then you'll be me, who is this overseer of you. I don't know.
It's very
terrible
weird.
video, but like, I don't.
It's not a perfect video, but it gets your brain thoughts stirred.
It gets your brain thoughts stirred, but it's not a comfortable reality, or it doesn't have any. If that's true, then fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a robot. That's what I'm saying.
But you're only. It's like you're. I'm forgetting the phrase, but you're really just delaying the inevitable. You know, because one day your robot is gonna break down, and your consciousness will fade from it somehow. It'll malfunction thousands of years later, but and you'll go back to the single egg. You'll join us.
Well, I mean, there's comforting realities at the end of it, and there's not so comforting realities that you're dead forever and there's nothing is a terrible idea that happens after it. But the one like you said, like joining the rest of the eggs, that'd be nice. Going back into the coming from the breath, coming from the light, and reforming with the light when I'm done would be a comfortable existence. A new reincarnating, I don't know if that'd be good, because like, would I be able to experience that the way I'm experiencing this now and just not remember this now? But then like, I don't feel like I've ever experienced any other lives if we've been reincarnated. I don't know. That one's a tricky one, whether or not I'd be.
Because I know one person who can't formulate any thoughts about this, and that's Dylan.
Well, we know a couple people that can't formulate any thoughts about this. It's also Blue. He says, no. They think there's nothing. Also, Stecker also said there's nothing.
Alex believes that too. Tomas said that.
No, Tomas said that, and then he said that he believed there's nothing. But like I told you, and I told him when we were there, I've tripped with him before. He knows there's not nothing. He's just a little potatoed in the brain.
Yeah.
Like he can see it, and he has seen it. I showed it to him a little bit myself, but he saw it firsthand. So he better believe it, because he definitely saw it. That's all I'm saying. He's just a little too potato to me.
I don't want to talk about this too much, but do you like the Melee video I sent you?
I liked the Melee video you sent me. I mean, it was very eye-opening. We didn't talk about this in person, so this is, but like it made so much sense to me. And I know you rewatched it, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched about 15 minutes of it, but like, because he confirmed everything that I actually like said. Like, wow, isn't that a little dumb to say out loud? But he said that like it feels slower to somebody who hasn't played it, and that's how I felt.
Yeah,
but
no, he was like, it felt like complete ass to me, as like just going into it, not really understanding it. But it's crazy because I went into it and I have no clue about like any buffer system, but it's just weird that like that exists in games, like to begin with.
I'd have to look at the buffer system again to really understand. Like, I mean, what it does, I understand that it makes it easier for people, and it's more forgiving on a player. But like, I don't really understand how it does that. Is it like a delay on what end? But it makes sense to me that they would do something like that so that it's easier. So that like, kind of like you press the button. I think it makes sense, because if you press it, and it does it like 2 seconds later, like
you're not gonna get an input. or so,
I don't
yeah,
know.
or like you'll
I
get
don't
late
know.
input.
I don't know. They were basically explaining that it makes it easier and more forgivable, and that I understand why they would do that for video games. They have aim assist for us.
I
They have
just
so
found it
many-
interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean it was totally. Excuse me, that was a burp.
It's fine.
dare
I,
I?
I barely heard it.
How dare I? But the how like games are like that. I don't know.
You like my frozen ball of jizz?
That's not a frozen ball of jizz.
Yes, it is.
Why would you hold it if it's a fushigi, isn't it?
It is. I don't know how to really like do the crazy shit.
It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, to be perfectly honest.
Whoa.
I'm not kidding. It looks pretty good from this angle. It's probably because the quality's bad. So like it looks like the
Yeah,
ball is
exactly.
staying still when you do that. Because I don't know, with the lighting, whatever, it's a trick. It's definitely a trick.
What's up? You got another topic?
What's up?
I got
What's up?
some, but if you, I want to hear one from
No,
you.
I had one that I wanted to talk about. The aliens, man.
the red-brained small penis
No,
men.
I don't want to talk about those ones. I don't like those.
I'm glad I remembered those.
No, I don't like the dangler
right.
wieners. What's the deal with those guys, though? Where are they from?
The same guy who does the Hivers and all the others.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
what's
from the same
story?
book. That's why I
What-
forgot about it.
It's a different book.
Yes, I
What's
don't
this
know
book
the.
about?
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Dave,
I've read the one with the Hivers though, and I really wish you would read it too because I think it's probably the most interesting thoughts about the future of humans. You know.
Well, you explained them to me, and we talked about this, but we haven't talked about this on podcasts. But you explained the Hiver. Explain the Hivers.
Well, not the Hivers, but basically he goes on to say in the beginning of the book that, humans have hit such a point where like we don't need to evolve to better ourselves to our surroundings. We just create tools and we have like heaters and like we kill animals for their fur coats and shit. We don't need to evolve. And like with our medical technology so advanced, like we would just do genetic engineering then, which is
One
what
would argue that we've been devolving.
exactly. We are devolving. So that's why genetic engineering would come into play to create like say like a couple came in and they wanted like a more athletic baby or like certain features, you would just
Yeah,
genetically
gene splicing.
Yes, exactly. So it
make a
goes on
perfect
to say
world.
like what if we created the perfect human for space travel or what if we created a human for this or that, and then it goes on to what those humans would look
And then
like.
I argue, why don't we?
And then it's like, all right, so the current humans are all gone off of Earth. It's millions of years later. What do the humans that we have created look like? They turn into basically new animals, and they fill the roles of apex animals that once were, like the monkeys and this.
Yeah,
and that.
because just real quick though, but you were saying that the Hivers would be like we would send those humans.
And then they're not the Hivers, but the builders, the horse guys. They were the ones 5 million years later, after living on another planet in space, they would evolve completely different to what a human on Earth would look like. They come down to Earth and they basically destroy everything. They enslave everything, to their liking, to what they need to survive. And they don't even recognize everything as on Earth as, a distant relative to their lineage, which I find very scary.
Yeah, the Davids got that, but just for the Alex at home who are listening, so basically we send the superhumans to the planet, and then they came back as scary little small creatures and kill us. Is that pretty good?
Yes.
Yeah, that's we send superhumans, and then they devolve into these like little like, what do they look like? They look like little beans on horseback. We'll send
Yes.
that. We'll show that.
Yeah.
And they destroy, but there's no humans here though.
Yeah, it's just the Hivers and the other things that we've created, because it's millions of years later. So it's not really like we're losing anything, but it's just scary to see.
Yeah, you're right. We wouldn't be losing. I don't know if that's what happens. I think, we definitely, are going to start sending people into places to colonize things. But with the recent alien development is very interesting. The fact that they're saying that the Israeli government or whatever guy ex-space director, whatever guy. I don't know.
Well, this is where
was-
David Icke comes into play because he's a big proponent of the reptilian shapeshifters. He knows a lot about them.
Yeah, well, this was like this guy was like blowing all kinds of whistles on the alien shapeshifters. He was saying, "Man, I wish I was smart and could remember stuff." You know, he he was saying that the aliens are already integrated into our society
Yeah.
to an extent that we couldn't even tell if we were aliens or if we were talking to an alien, that they're already here and they're already manipulating us, but they don't think that we're ready to listen to their message, which is totally nuts.
That is very scary. I mean,
I
I
mean-
was talking to how I feel that, the government will stage aliens coming in and be like, oh, these are the bad aliens. And then, like, other aliens come in to save us, but they're the enslaving force, And then they're
Yeah,
like,
but-
oh, these aliens are so good. Like, let's listen to them.
We'll have to see what happens with all the other governments and stuff. The only reason I really trust, like, if coronavirus was just the United States or like just a country, nobody would trust that shit. Like the fact that it's the whole world, because it's like, the whole world can't get along on anything like that,
Yeah.
But like, I mean, could they to run a
The New World
mass
Order.
test to kill off people and shit like that? Did they like release the coronavirus, or was it China who just like it was in the Wuhan facility? I hope that the simplest answer is that China's just testing on diseases and it just escaped their facility, because the scary answer is that somebody did this on purpose.
Yeah. And it's very scary, especially like we were talking about how, coronavirus, like it once you have it, like it affects like your neurological functions, like your sense of taste and smell like are completely changed. And I was telling you how I believe that, it's just the government testing with the virus. They're trying to get it to attack your nervous system, but just not in the way that it is now. They don't want it to get your sense of taste and smell. Who knows what they want it to get? Your sense of motor vehicle function, your sense of this, your sense of that. They want to pollute your brain.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because you were saying like, and I agree with this, and somebody else was saying this too. There's not a lot of diseases that people have just like a wide variety of different symptoms. Like the flu's pretty consistent, pneumonia is pretty consistent, like stuff like that's pretty consistent. They could like hives is pretty consistent. There's bumps, like there's no consistencies to this. There's a super wide variety of different like ways that people are getting affected by the different symptoms. And you're right. Are they just playing with it and meddling with it before our very eyes to see how they can manipulate us in the way that is deemed fit for them? I think it was interesting. I was saying to you how they're forcing us all to stay home. That's the big thing that I keep coming back to, is the fact that it's so pushed on to us to not be able to gather or share. I mean, this is what you said when I said that, is because they don't want us to share ideas. They don't want us to have communication face to face,
because then they can't monitor it.
Well, but like we wouldn't be able to connect all the dots. If everybody's at home, not everybody can get together to connect the dots. Because how great is the conversation in person? You just are able to connect the dots so much better.
Exactly.
We're having a conversation right now, but like that secondary person that I always talk about, or that I talked about on the Clone Wars podcast with Rob, like
it's hard to get that secondary person in the conversation through the phone or like say Zoom like this,
Exactly. He's almost like he's having a very hard time. I could kind of, feel it, but it's not exactly, it's just not. I mean, the phone is even worse because like at least I could see you to some extent.
Yeah, but the phone, you can't see. It's just a voice there,
But you can't connect all the dots unless you're in person. I mean, the monitoring thing is also big. But I it's weird that they don't want people gathering to share or collect information for whatever reason. Why are you doing that, government?
I'm scared.
I know you're listening.
We've been recording 33 minutes. I just want to say.
Okay.
Just in case. Probably just because we've been in the Zoom for like a minute longer than the actual recording.
Do you want to do a second one then, or do you want to?
We'll do a quick topic, wrap it up.
Okay. All right. Well,
You got a topic, or you wanted to bring something up, or not? Because I can bring something up.
What do you got?
I don't know. We were talking about a lot of stuff.
Ooh, teleportation was
Yeah.
was the one we were talking about a lot. How do you feel about this? I personally feel like if they could solve one thing, it'd be teleportation for me. I would love if we could just have fucking teleportation.
We were talking about how they're not going to give that to the public.
Yeah,
If
no,
they
yeah,
had it.
exactly.
But
Because all them.
me personally, I would love to just snap my finger and teleport somewhere. That would be my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having my Minecraft chest, kind of like not a Minecraft chest, but like it's just like a box
Yeah.
that I
Like your
just can
ender chest.
access. Yeah, exactly, an ender chest, and it's like whatever items. It's exactly an ender chest.
Yeah.
Just have my ender chest with me wherever I go. You know, I could put like a rig in there, put my drugs in there.
A woman.
Nobody else can access your ender chest besides you.
Exactly. Because when someone opens an ender chest, it's just their own items.
Their own items. Wow, I never realized it was an ender chest.
Yeah.
I would love to have an ender chest.
I know. Wouldn't that be wouldn't it be so cool to have ender pearls too? Like you just toss a pearl and you get teleported
That would be
over
like,
there.
yeah, I mean that kind of be like teleportation. Although teleportation would be mad fucking cool, bro. You
Yeah.
could do some sneaky shit though. There's
I
a lot of
know.
problems that you'd run into though. Like imagine if you could just like teleport into like women's bedrooms.
I would
Actually,
do
we
that
shouldn't.
all the time. With my dick out. I'd teleport like for an instance. It'd be like subliminal messaging, you know? They'd be like, did I just see that? Like, was that just Dave naked? Like, nah, my mind's playing tricks
Just
on
like
me.
snap in, just like teleport naked to somebody's
For like literally a millisecond.
teleport to hentai's room for 2 seconds. And back. I need one more glimpse.
I would do so many sickening things.
Teleport into the women's showers.
Oh, no.
But like teleport into bank vault, steal money.
Exactly. There's a movie.
Teleport out of
about
jail.
that. I forget
There-
what it's called.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw it when I was younger.
They do it in have you ever seen Zoidberg though he's invisible in Futurama. He robs the bank, he swallows all the money.
I think, yeah, at the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember.
Hey, it's clamps.
I haven't seen Futurama in a while. That's a good show.
You get the fucking clamps. Hey,
Hey,
what do I gotta do? Robot Devil, it's a great show, bro.
it is. I love it.
What's the other guy? Hey, who's this guy? He thinks he comes in here and
Bender?
takes some money. Nah, when the robot mafia tries to deal with Bender, is fucking hilarious.
There's a wonderful quote in Futurama, and it's Hermes. He's talking about someone's telling Hermes, they're like, "Damn, Hermes, you got fat," and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, 40 years of the munchies will do that to you."
What to do? Do you think I should eat more butter?
I am putting a stop to this right now. Come on, we're switching buddies.
Hermes, no! I'll ruin your body too!
3 decades of the munchies beat you to it.
And like, it's so funny because like I feel like that's so true, you know?
Hermes is a great character. Well, I don't know who I talked about this with, but if you're a serious stoner, you're skinny, you're not fat.
You think?
I think so. I think
Dude, I smoke all the time, bro, and I got some meat on my bones.
I know, but like me and Dylan, I mean, you're right. And now that I think about it, there's Jolioli and there's Harry Dabbs, and he's a pretty big fella.
What about
Like a lot of like true
King
skinner.
Dave? You remember that smoker? He was
Who?
like from New Jersey. He had an Instagram page. I think his name was King Dave, and he died like a year or two ago.
Oh, was he? It was yeah. I think I know maybe who we're talking about, but
He was a larger
yeah.
set fellow.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like if you're like a real stoner, like if you're getting high all the time, like you don't have an appetite.
I mean,
I don't know.
I
Some
see that.
people like with dabs a little bit, you know, definitely if you got some of that mixed in there. I don't know, but you know, Hermes, man. Oh, what's his wife's name?
I don't even know, bro.
And the guy always trying to steal from
Yeah.
The
I
guy-
haven't seen that show in so long.
Hermes. I'm leaving you.
Amy's hot.
Yeah. What's it? No, I can't do a girl voice. I
Wait.
like Amy though. I would totally be.
The Zoom's about to end.
Fry. Okay. Well, let's
Johnny
just
man.
let's just tell them That's it.
All right,
That's-
guys, listen to this very closely. The reptilians are coming for you. They're coming. They're coming after me right now.